All right, so let's get it. This is going to be about as candid of a video that you guys see from me, just on the aspect of, wow, I'm excited. These are exciting times. You don't really know what's coming next. I told you guys, crazy off season. I also told you guys that a player like Jrue Holiday might end up getting more in this market than we usually see. Now, Jrue Holiday is a phenomenal player. Don't get me wrong. What he has done for the Pelicans organization is not going to be forgotten. But man, I think the Pelicans got a pretty solid deal from the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not gonna say we flat out finessed them, even though that's what I wanted to say and that's what I was initially thinking. But I do think it's a good deal for both sides when it comes down to it, especially because I do think the Milwaukee Bucks know something that we don't. That's the only thing in my head that makes sense. Now, I do think it's interesting when it comes to this Jrue Holiday deal, Jrue Holiday getting traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Everybody's talking about, oh, is Giannis Antetokounmpo going to resign? Rarely do I ever hear anybody discuss, is Jrue Holiday going to return? This is somebody that's going to be a free agent in the following season. Somebody that just got burned on the business side of things from the New Orleans Pelicans. Somebody who recently re-signed with the team because of one player. If you ask Jrue Holiday, he'll tell you 90% of the reason he re-signed with the New Orleans Pelicans was because of Anthony Davis. But we remember Anthony Davis had a change of heart and then decided to go to LA. Now, if I'm Jrue Holiday, that's something I consider the next time a decision comes up for me. I'm not going to make my decision off of what anybody else wants to do. It's going to be my decision. So if I want to stay in Milwaukee for the later prime years of my career, then that's something I'm going to do, and I'm not going to base it on if Giannis signs some supermax. Jrue Holiday is an LA guy. He loves LA. Anthony Davis is his boy, and he's been playing basketball most of his years in Philly and New Orleans, and now he goes to Milwaukee. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks aren't just playing to keep Giannis Antetokounmpo. They're playing to keep Jrue Holiday. And even then, it might not matter. In 2021 free agency, there's going to be a lot of moving parts. I remember Jrue had interest in joining the New York Knicks at one point. The Knicks can go out, throw a mega bag at Jrue, who's a great complement player to all-star level talent. Say the Knicks get somebody else. Now look, I'm looking pretty far down the line, and this is just a lot of speculation, but I'm just saying, don't be surprised come 2021. Now, I know a lot of you guys really wanted this video, but yesterday I made so many videos, I was like, I gotta take a little break. But yeah, this is a video I really wanted to make and bring to you guys. This video is going to focus more on the Milwaukee Bucks side of things, whereas my next Pelicans video will be coming when the NBA draft is finished for pretty obvious reasons. Now, before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Get Like Coop video. And that's facts. I've been streaming recently. I've been streaming NBA 2K21. The link to my stream is going to be in the description below. It would mean the world if you guys could come to the streams, show some love, chop it up, interact. I mean, I respond to like every question. I'm really interactive. It's a fun time. Also, my NFL channel is going to be in the description below for those of you that do want to check that out. Lastly, be sure to drop a thumbs up. Dropping a thumbs up helps me grow, and it shows me that you guys are enjoying my content. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Today was a monumental day because last night the Pelicans finally traded Jrue Holiday. Now that also does suck because Jrue Holiday has been phenomenal for us. I thought the Pelicans and him had a fantastic relationship. I mean, this is somebody that's been through a lot, plays basketball hard every night. He's not going to take plays off. I mean, he's an easy guy to root for, you know? And I don't feel like Jrue Holiday has ever really gotten the credit he deserves due to playing in small markets. And unfortunately, that might continue in Milwaukee, but phenomenal guy, great player. But of course, I mean, here we go. The Milwaukee Bucks get their third star. So according to Shams, Milwaukee is sending 3 first-round picks to New Orleans to acquire Jrue Holiday. Now, Shams also said it gets even better. He said New Orleans receives 2 future draft pick swaps from Milwaukee to go along with the 3 first. Now, the Pelicans are also getting George Hill and Eric Bledsoe. Now, check this out. Initially, you're very happy because you're like, hey, what if Giannis leaves following this season? The Pelicans could end up with a lot of lottery picks coming from the Milwaukee Bucks. But you see, there's some belief that the Bucks made this trade because they think Giannis is going to re-sign. And if that's the case, then I'm not going to say the Pelicans were finessed, because it's still 3 firsts and 2 pick swaps, which you probably aren't going to use the swaps if Giannis does resign. So it's still 3 first-round picks for Jrue Holiday. Either way, it's a great deal. But if the Milwaukee Bucks were withholding information about Giannis resigning in order to go out and make a trade like this, so those firsts seem all the more valuable in the public eye, I have to say bravo to Milwaukee. Mark Stein reports the last 2 weeks have been filled with chatter that Antetokounmpo indeed plans to sign his 5-year supermax with the Milwaukee Bucks before the December 21st deadline to do so. The Bucks made a trade that suggests they believe it. Again, that's what we just covered. There's a possibility that Giannis does resign, and all of these Pelican picks end up being very late picks. That would be very unfortunate. But as of right now, the Pelicans have premium draft capital. And this is so valuable for the future of the Pelicans because they don't have to use these picks, even if they're late first-round picks. These picks can be used to acquire another star to go alongside Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Lonzo Ball, whoever is on the Pelicans. Say there's a prospect in the draft that the Pelicans love in the future. Now, you got all the picks to go out and get them. Moving up becomes that much easier. From the Bucks side of things, again, if Giannis resigns, pretty solid deal for them. I'm not saying I love the deal because Jrue Holiday is a needle mover. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. A few weeks ago, maybe even like last week, I talked about Jrue Holiday and his impact on the Pelicans when the Pelicans made the playoffs for the last time. And I said I really felt like he was better playing against the Blazers and the Warriors than Anthony Davis. He had 2 phenomenal playoff series, and especially against the Blazers. This was a two-way player that went out, locked down the other team's best player, and was scoring like 28 points a game. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks needed a guard. They needed a high-level guard. Bledsoe is okay. You know, whoever they've had in the past, they've been okay. Brogdon was good to me, but Bledsoe is okay. Holiday is so much better than any guard the Bucks have had in recent memory. Now, remember I told you guys, Jimmy Butler and Chris Paul were similar in the sense that they can go out and become anything on the basketball court. Jrue Holiday is one of those players. It just so happens he plays in New Orleans, so he doesn't get that type of love. And it also happens that he's somebody that has unfortunately struggled with consistency over the seasons. Now, you're going to look at the stats and you're going to be confused. Coop, how did Holiday struggle with consistency, averaging 20 points a game the last 2 seasons, shooting 47% from the field, and nearly 35% from the three-point line? The answer is simple. If you watch Pelicans games, you would understand it. Sometimes he'd be great, phenomenal, the best player on the basketball floor. But other times it's like, hey, is Jrue playing tonight? And you kind of forget him on the offensive side of the basketball. But on defense, he would come down, make a phenomenal play, and you'd be like, oh yeah, there Jrue is. He's just having one of those offensive games where he's not putting it all together. Now, I do like Holiday for the Bucks, though, because he does go to a great defensive system. He's been one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. Without a doubt, Kevin Durant says he's the best. That's high praise, especially coming from a scorer like Kevin Durant. Now, the reason I like Jrue going to a defensive system is because the Pelicans have struggled so bad on the defensive end. I felt like we haven't seen Jrue's true defensive potential. Now you team up with Giannis and that dominant Bucks defense, and now a good defense, a great defense becomes all the better. Now, remember when I was saying Holiday was one of those players that can kind of do anything, become anyone, kind of like a ditto. You know, if you need him to be the best defender, he's got you. You need him to get high from the three-point line, he can do that. You need a bucket, Holiday's got you. Now, the part of Holiday's game that interests me the most for the Milwaukee Bucks is easily his passing and playmaking ability. Giannis can be good at times at playmaking. He can be good at times at passing, but I'm not a fan of his playmaking or passing. Holiday averages 7 assists per game, and he can control the tempo at a very high level while looking to get everybody else involved. Holiday has always been a good passer, but for some reason, coaches have always coveted his scoring more. And you understand it because he can get to the basket with ease. He's a big guard, and he's got phenomenal finishing ability. I know I've been focusing a lot on Jrue this video, but the Milwaukee Bucks also acquired Bogdan. Their starting lineup looks really good. Bogdan is big in the aspect of you can't have enough shooters surrounding Giannis. Bogdan is somebody that's not afraid to shoot and score the ball with incredible volume and efficiency, and players like that are players that the Milwaukee Bucks have needed. Now, Jrue also gives you another scoring punch, so you love that. You love their starting five, but this team isn't very deep. I really want to see what other moves they have in store, because I really don't think this can be it for them going forward. Their starting five looks good, but does this make them a better team than, say, the Toronto Raptors, than the Boston Celtics, than the Miami Heat, who, you know, the type of problems they gave them this past year? Were the Milwaukee Bucks a Bogdan and a Jrue Holiday away from defeating the Miami Heat? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. I guess we may find out this upcoming season. And also, Brooklyn is going to be dangerous. I wouldn't be shocked to see Brooklyn finish #1 in the Eastern Conference next year. The NBA is exciting. This next season is going to be scary. Now, in my next Pelicans video, I probably will have a title that's like, the New Orleans Pelicans finessed them or whatever, but don't take it personal, Bucks fans. I just like to have fun sometimes. I think the moves that the Bucks have made make too much sense. You have a generational talent like Giannis. Who knows the next time your title window will be open? You go all in. It's something you have to do, especially being a small market. Come on, man, don't get me started. Who knows the next time a Giannis Antetokounmpo rolls through Milwaukee? You understand it completely. I want those picks to end up being great for the Pelicans, but I wouldn't be mad if Giannis stayed. I wouldn't be mad at all. I want Jrue to win too. So it's a win-win for me at the end of the day. I hope we are able to flip George Hill and Eric Bledsoe, though I don't look forward to those guys being Pelicans. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support the channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.